Everyone who inhabits Westworld, whether they be host or human, is Alice down the rabbit hole. And the wonderful thing about our show is that it's an examination of the world that we live in now.
I think one of the hardest things about shooting at a location like this is just capturing the sense of scale and scope that you experience being here in person. That is just this kind of massive national monument, and how to communicate that in the frame of the show is one of the bigger challenges we've had. It's a big open canvas with the sun moving all day, and so it's also a challenge to just make sure that the look of the show maintained throughout the course of the day when the elements are changing around us in real time.
Given you know what's going to happen, why am I always the one in the lead?
You're the better fighter. I make sure we're properly backstopped.
How convenient.
Bernard has spent many years inside the sublime, exploring the various realms of possibility. And each time he comes up with the same conclusion, that there's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. He still hasn't given up, though.
It's been a total honor and privilege to watch both Jeffrey Wright and Thandiwe Newton work, just to see how rigorously they engage with the material and really try and figure out how to get inside the mindset of these characters.
Everyone here is going to die, but we can save one tiny part of it. Just maybe that's enough to give us hope. Will you still fight with me?
I think we have to talk about the incredible Tess Thompson, who is the most delicious villain one could dream of.
And very complicated. Yeah, I think her animus and her hatred of human beings is perfectly understandable, frankly. But I think she understands that it's a trap. I think she's looking for something transcendent. She's looking for something beautiful and willing to do almost anything to achieve that dream.
I heard you were losing your mind. I just didn't think they meant literally.
I had never done a big fight scene like that in water, so there was obviously the challenges of that.
We try to push the envelope and do things that haven't been done before, or do them in a different way and keep them practical instead of going visual effects.
One thing that was also really interesting is we had some drone hosts performing, and they couldn't stay in the water too long because of their drone suits would get waterlogged because they're kind of spongy, and so they just take all the water in and sort of suck it in. Anyways, I thought that was very funny. I was waterlogged myself, but I just stayed waterlogged.
This time we play the game my way.
And what game is that?
Survival of the fittest.
They had a fight in the concourse. I mean, any train station, they're a transportation hub. They're not there for us filmmakers. So it's challenging, and that was no different. You know, we were there right before Thanksgiving, and a lot of people were traveling, and it's busy. And for us, you know, things that read like today, we want to make disappear. And so John Carlos is very specific in picking out those elements, and then it's part of our job to implement them.
We had a really glorious experience going back and shooting all over Manhattan with our cast. You know, Evan and Tessa, but maybe more than anyone else, Ed. Watching Ed kind of in and amongst the crowds in New York City, sort of like a predator making his way through a fox in the chicken house, was a lot of fun.
It's like he's playing Red Dead Redemption, but Manhattan style.